to our weekly Bhakti Vaibhav class. So today we'll be reading from chapter 24. In the previous class, we were discussing about how Prithu Maharaj attained spiritual world, and following him, his wife also attained spiritual world. And those who hear and follow the teachings and the lifestyle of Prithu Maharaj also attain the same spiritual world. That was the Falashruti of the previous section of Bhagavatam. So in this fourth canto, we have seen Daksha as a devotee in the mode of ignorance, then Dhruva, devotee in the mode of passion, and Prithu, a devotee in the mode of goodness, we have seen. Now in the last section, we are going to see three different personalities. One is Prachetas, then Lord Shiva, and then Narada Muni. These three represent the devotee in the pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva platform. And these three personalities stand out as devotees in pure goodness. So we can see the connection between the third canto and fourth canto. Of course, in between, Prachina Barhi also will come, but that is like a side story. Though it takes a lot of chapters, but there Narada Muni plays vital role. Narada Muni
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, we cannot hear Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, there was some interruption because of internet failure. So I called them, they connected. Yeah. Okay. Mm,
Yes, now we can hear you.
yes, yes. So we'll continue with chapter 24 today, wherein as mentioned, we will get to see how Prachetas, how Prithu Maharaj, and how Prachetas and Lord Shiva and Narada Muni exemplify as an example of devotee in the mode of goodness. You are able to see the slides, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yes, yes.
Oh. So in chapter 24, um, the Prachetas, who are the sons of Prachina Bari, who is the grandson of King Prithu, receive the prayers of Lord Shiva. And this chapter is known as Rudra Gita. Lord Shiva offers his prayers. So in that. So this is a quite big chapter. Of course, this entire section now, what we are going to discuss, 24, 25, 28, 29, and 30. All these chapters are very big. We'll need a lot of time to go through all the chapters. We'll do it. So about 80 verses are there in the chapter. Maitreya Uvacha Vijitasvodhirajasi Prutu Putra Prutushrava Yayiyobhyo Dadat Shasta Bhratrubhyo Bhatruvasala. Someone please read the translation.
The great sage Maitreya continued. Vijitashva, the eldest son of Maharaj Prithu, who had a reputation like his father's, became emperor and gave his younger brothers different directions of the world to govern, for he was very affectionate towards his brothers.
After Prithu went to forest to perform Vanaprastha austerities, Vijitasva, the son of King Prithu, became the king, and he gave his four younger brothers four different directions. Of course, he is the monarch of the entire Bhumandala, but in four directions he gave the responsibility to his brothers. You please take care this side, like that. So as a gentle brother, he also engaged his younger brothers. That shows his affectionate nature to his brothers. That's why it's called as Bhratru Vasala. In the beginning of this canto, we saw that Daksha was Duhitru Vasala. Daksha was very much affectionate to his daughters. So something like that. His details are mentioned here. So who was appointed as a responsible person? Which part of the kingdom? That is mentioned in the second verse. Hariyaksha Hariyakshayadishtas prachin Dhumrakeshaya dakshinam Praticim Vrukasanyaya Turyam Dravina Sevibhu.
Maharaja Vijitasva offered the eastern part of the walls to his brother Hariyaksha, the southern part to Bhumakesha, the western parts to Vrika, and the northern parts to Dravina.
So like four directions were given to four of his brothers, Hariyaksha, Dhumrakesha, Vruka, and Dravina. And then Antardanagatim Sakral Ladvantardana Samyita Apatyatrayam Adatta Shikandinyam Susammatam.
Formerly, Maharaj Vijitashva pleased the king of heaven, Indra, and from him received the title Antardhan. His wife's name was Shikhandini, and by her he begot 3 good sons.
Yeah. So if you remember previously, when the 100th horse sacrifice was going on, Indra came. First of all, first time he came invisibly and stole the horse. Second time he created fog around and then he stole the horse. And Atri Muni, he understood it is Indra is taking it. He requested son of Prutu, go and kill that person and bring it back, something like that. So though Atri Muni told him, but he did not kill him. He went there requesting, stop, fight with me and then take the horse away, something like that. So that time understanding that he is a powerful something like that, Indra left behind the horse and went away. So that time, since Indra was playing the trick of becoming invisible, again visible, invisible, and Prutu's son, he knew that it is Indra. He understood that Indra is a person placed in the high position. If he is doing something, there must be some reason. Why should I kill unnecessarily? He was waited, let things go on naturally. So Indra was pleased with that demeanor of Prutu's son, Vijitashva. So he gave him the special ability of disappearing at will. That's why he became known as Antardana. That blessing was given by Indra to him because Indra was pleased that he did not act rashly. Just because somebody told him to kill, he did not kill just like that. He waited, okay, there must be some other purpose, so let us not act harshly. So that is what is indicated here. The reason will be mentioned in one of the later verses, but it is mentioned here. And he married Shikhandini and he had 3 sons who are very good and qualified sons. So in that way, he got this ability after taking the horse from Indra during the horse sacrifice. After getting the boon from Indra, he was called Antardana, or one who disappears at will. It's like that. Of course, in the purport, Prabhupada writes, so Indra was a great and powerful Devata and servant of Supreme Lord, and Vichitashva powerfully excused him due to sentiment only, even though Indra was acting wrongly. But whatever, he had something in mind, he did not throw arrows at Indra. So Indra was very much pleased with that and gave him the blessing of disappearing at will. And the 3 sons of Antardana, their names are mentioned. They were actually Agni Devatas. Because of some curse, they appeared as human beings. And then by undergoing some sufficient amount of tapasya, they again became fire Devatas. They went back to heaven. That is what is mentioned in the next verse. Pavaka Pavamanascha Suchir iti Agneya Pura Vasishta Chapa Duppanna Punar Yoga Gatingata.
The 3 sons of Maharaj Antardhan were named Pavaka, Pavmana, and Suchi. Formerly, these 3 personalities were the demigods of fire. But due to the cross of the great sage Vashishta, they became the sons of Maharaj Antardhan. As such, they were as powerful as the fire gods, and they attained the destination of mystic yoga power, being again situated as the demigods of fire.
Yeah. In the first chapter, it was mentioned that Daksha had 16 daughters, out of which 1 daughter was given to Agni. Her name was Swaha. So she gave birth to 3 persons, 3 children, Pavaka, Pavaman, and Suchi. So it seemed that Vasishta had cursed them because of some reason. As a result, they appeared as the sons of king. And they did not become attracted to the worldly affairs of the Bhuloka. Instead, they performed austerities. Then they went back and regained their original position. So that is what is indicated here. So Prabhupada mentioned that whenever some devatas were cursed, they come to earth, they take birth in some aristocratic family, and they can practice Krishna consciousness from the very beginning. So eventually they will regain their former position. It happens like that.
Just out of curiosity, I'm asking. So once they come here, don't they think of going even above heavenly planets and like practicing on bhakti and go somewhere?
No, even if they want to go above, they cannot go. They can't. The Devata is supposed to complete their tenure, their assigned tenure. Unless and without that complete, they cannot go. Because they also know if I do my service properly, I will go back to God. Afterward, they will go. No,
So from heavenly planets, they go.
they go to
above.
spiritual. But in between, sometime because of some mistake, they will come down and again, like iterations, like small tenure. It won't last long. Antardano na baswatyam havirdanam avindata ya indram ashwa hartaram vidwan apina jagnivan.
Maharaj Antardhan had another wife named Nabhaswati, and by her he was happy to beget another son named Havirdhan. Since Maharaj Antardhan was very liberal, he did not kill Indra while the demigod was stealing his father's horse at the sacrifice.
Yeah, this is mentioned here. Antardhana did not kill Indra, even though Indra was stealing the horse. Because he knew that Indra is not ordinary person. So Prabhupada taking that as a reference quotes Apiche Suduracharo Bhajate Ma Manande Bhak Sadhureva Samantavya Samyak Vyavasthoisa. When a devotee commits a mistake, one should not question, one should not judge or something like that. Because he's a devotee, he will correct, Lord will help him to correct himself. So others should not take the matter on their own hands. So like that, Antardhana also did not take the matter in his own hands, even though Indra is doing big mistake. That is between Indra and Supreme Lord, something like that. He thought and did not judge him and did not punish him or something like that. Anything, he did not take action rashly. So that Antardhana, he also married Nabhaswati. He had one wife, Shikandni, another wife is Nabhaswati. And who gave birth to one son known as Havirdhana. So through first wife, he begot 3 children. They went back to heaven. Through second wife, he got one son, that is Havirdhana. Nabhaswati was another wife. Havirdhana, Antardhana, though knowing Indra had stolen the horse, did not kill him. Because of that, Indra gave him the power of being invisible. So because of that only Indra gave this blessing. Indra understood this person is not ordinary. He acts, he thinks before he acts. He does not act rashly. So something like that. In that way. So Prabhupada writes, even when a devotee commits a sinful activity by chance, it should be considered, but they should not be judged too much, because since they are a devotee, they will correct eventually. So in that way, if by chance the devotee commits something abominable, it should not be taken into account, but should be overlooked. So in that way. Rajnam vrittim karadana danda shukladi darunam manyamano dirghasatra vyajena visasarjaha.
Whenever Antardhan, the supreme royal power, had to exact taxes, punish his citizens, or fine them severely, he was not willing to do so. Consequently, he retired from the execution of such duties and engaged himself in the performance of different sacrifices.
Yeah. So this is the quality of Antardhana. Antardhana gave up the duties of the king. Rajna Mrittim Visasarjaha. External seems to be, yeah, what kind of king is he? He is not doing kingly duties. What kind of duties? Such as receiving tax, awarding punishment, and collecting fines. Since he thought they were giving suffering to the people, on the plea of performing long sacrifice. If he regularly day to day starts performing kingly duties, he has to collect so much taxes, he has to punish the people who are doing mistakes, he has to collect fines, etc. etc. So those things causing so much pain to people in general. So he does not want to get into all those things. in the plea of performing a long sacrifice, in one sense, he has given up day-to-day kingly duties. But through the medium of long sacrifice, he engaged all the people in the sacrifice. That's how he kind of helped them purify from the ulterior motives or something like that. So this is how King Andradana ruled the entire kingdom as long as he was ruling. He gave up the king's duties because he thought they were causing suffering to people. The kingly duties are causing suffering to people. He does not, he is so compassionate that he does not want to see even the miscreants are being punished. That is the nature of Antardana.
Is it not one step ahead of Prithu Maharaj? Because Prithu Maharaj did punish the miscreants. In fact, he followed the earth.
No, in one sense, yeah, that time it was need of the hour. He did not punish. He only caused
Correct.
fear in Mother Earth. He said, I will punish if you don't listen to me. Later on, she listened. He accepted as his own daughter.
That's there, but like, I guess he had that kind of inclination to, correct the people. There is.
Because that was the need of the hour. Before he came, things were entirely opposite.
Yeah.
So he has to separate the matter. No, things are in the proper shape. So he does not have to invest so much in the maintain the kingdom. Antardana is like in a good condition.
Yeah.
His father ruled very nicely. Kingdom is very nice. Dharmic kingdom. He has nothing to do much. You just have to continue in that way. Tatrapi hamsam purusham paramatmanam yajam talloka lokatam apa kushalena samadhina.
Although Maharaj Antardhan was engaged in performing sacrifices, because he was a self-realized soul, he very intelligently rendered devotional service to the Lord, who eradicates all the fears of his devotees. By thus worshipping the Supreme Lord, Maharaj Antardhan, wrapped in ecstasy, attained his planet very easily.
So externally he was engaged in sacrifice and engaging everyone in that. But internally, he is continuously worshipping Lord Hamsa. Regularly, he is engaged in devotional service within his inner chambers and etc. Thus, after his tenure was over, he easily went back to Godhead. So this is how he ruled very simply, without much effort. Just by performing sacrifice, he engaged all the people in the sacrifice, and then things are going on nicely. There was no need to punish anybody and anything. No collection of tax because sacrifice is going on. Everyone will sponsor whatever needed. People only bring. Just like for tomorrow, Govardhan Puja, all devotees are getting so many bhoga items, something like that. Though engaged in a long sacrifice in Karma Yoga, he worshipped Lord Hamsavatara and attained his abode. Literally, it means he attained having the state of his abode. That means he went back to the Vaikunta, where Lord Hamsa is situated, and he almost attained the same qualities as that of Lord Hamsa. That's how he was completely immersed in devotional service. So Prabhupada says that yajna means yajnanam japa yajnosmi. One should always engage in japa yajna. That will do benefit to one and all. That is the ultimate yajna for the Kali Yuga. Havirdani vidura sutan parishadam gayam shuklam krishnam satyam jitavratam.
Havirdhan, the son of Maharaj Antardhan, had a wife named Havirdhani, who gave birth to 6 sons named Vahishat, Gaya, Shukla, Krishna, Satya, and Jitavrata.
Yeah. Havirdana married Havirdani and they gave birth to 6 children. Barishat, Gaya, Shukla, Krishna, Satya, and Jitavrata. So now the entire story is all about Barishat, Prachina Barishat. He is the son of Havirdana, who is the son of Antardana, who is the son of Purtu, the great grandson of Purtu.
Just asking about Hamsa Avatar. So, Generally, we say na Hamsa is the avatar of Satyuga. So what is his here?
Swan only. 11th canto also he comes. Swan. He is like the swan. He spoke about Bhakti to Narada Muni. He spoke about Jnana to 4 Kumaras. So he teaches whatever they wanted. Primarily, his pastime is all about speaking about Bhakti to Narada Muni and then speaking about Jnana to 4 Kumaras.
Because corresponding to the color, so he is white for Satyuga. Then the second one is Treta Yuga is Lord Ram.
Lord Yajna, not Ram. Rama is not Yuga Avatara. Lord Rama is the Lila Avatara. He appears only once in a day of Brahma. Not always. Yuga Avatara appears every Yuga. He is Lord Yajna.
That is for Treta Yuga.
Treta Yuga.
What is this color?
Red. Fire color.
Fire. So red. And then
Dwapar. Dwapar is Vasudeva, they say. Different names are given.
that's Krishna, right? No.
Krishna is Avatara. He comes only once in a day of Brahma.
Okay.
But there is Yuga Avatara every Yuga.
Okay.
He has different names.
So and then his color is Shyam.
His color is Shama. For Kali Yuga, Krishna. Color is Krishna. Blackish. Shukla, Rakta, Shama, Krishna. They are the 4 colors.
Shyam or Krishna?
Shama is bluish. Krishna is blackish.
There is yellow for Kali. That is
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not always. Yellow is once in a while. Not always.
Shukla, Rakta, Shama and
Shama and Krishna. Barishat Samahabhago Havirdani Prajapati Kriya Kandeshu Nishnato Yogeshu Cha Kurudvaha.
The great sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidur, Havirdan's very powerful son named Barhishat was very expert in performing various kinds of fruitive sacrifices, and he was also expert in the practice of mystic yoga. By his great qualifications, he became known as Prajapati."
O best of the Kurus, Kurudvaha, the most fortunate Barishad, a son of Havirdana and also a Prajapati, was absorbed in performing sacrifices and yoga. So the principal activity of Barishad is performing yajna and performing yoga. Basically, Kriya Yoga. Kriya refers to performance of yajna. Yoga stands for performance of some yoga. These are his principal activities with which he became famous. So Prabhupada writes, he also became Prajapati because there were not many Prajapatis at the time. So he was also given the responsibility of becoming Prajapati, something like that. Yasyedam deva yajanam anu yajnam vitanvata prachina grahai kushair asit ashritam vasudatalam.
Manoj Barhishat executed many sacrifices all over the world. He scattered Kuksha grasses and kept the tops of the grasses pointed east.
Yeah. So Barish's the one and only duty was to perform sacrifice after sacrifice. Because Chali Are Prutu performed 100 and Antadana performed how many we don't know, but he was continuously performing yajna only. And his son, his details are not made. Havirdana details are not made. Havirdana also kind of, Havir means ghee. Havirdana is always, a name itself comes as the performer of yajna. So he also must be performing so many yajnas. And Prachina Barhi became so attracted by the yajna performance, he was continuously performing yajna in such a way that the entire kingdom is covered by Kusha grass mats. In order to perform yajna, the Yajaman, the priest, the assembled guests, everyone is supposed to sit on a Kusha grass mat. They cannot sit on plastic chairs. So they have to sit on the Kusha grass mats. So for Yajna, the entire arena is filled by so many people. The visitors, the assembled guests, the invited devatas, everyone. So the entire area is filled with kusha grass mats. They cannot reuse them. They have to leave it there. Then they would go to next place and perform another yajna. Again go to next place, perform another yajna. Like that, the entire surface of the earth was covered with kusha grass mats with the tips facing east. Prachina. Barhi means kusha grass. Prachina is east.
East.
Prachina is east. Prachina, Pachatya, Purva, Pachatya.
Prachina in one sense.
Purva. Prachina means old. That means Purva. Purva means sun rises in the east. Sun rises in the east. And as the day passes, east is old. Purva.
Oh,
Sun वहां पे थे पहले. वहां से आए.
like that is named.
Yes. Prachina means Purva Disha. East. So in that way. So that's why he got Prachina Parishad. His name was Barishad, but since he was performing so many yajnas with the kusha grass mat facing towards east, he got the name Prachina Barishad. So
Bari is also, you said, it's the grass.
kusha grass.
Something.
So in that way, this is how he got the name. He was so much involved in that particular activity of performing yajna after yajna. So Prabhupada says that one should chant Hare Krishna mantra like that. Continuously chanting Hare Krishna. So in that way. If the surface of the globe is overflowed with the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the people of the world will be very, very, very happy. Just like the whole world is filled with kusha grass mats, the same way, if the whole world is filled with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then everyone will be happy. So in that way. Under him, the earth was covered with kusha grass. Kusha grass means barhi. And day after tomorrow only. If you go to market, people all want kusha grass. They are supposed to keep all these things in the night, in the grains in the house, because on Tuesday there is eclipse. So in that way. There was no place on earth where sacrifice was not performed by him. Thus, he was called Prachina Barhi. He spread sacrifices in which each sacrifice was for all the devatas with proficiency. So in every sacrifice, all the devatas were worshipped. So in that way. It is said in the third canto that when Lord Varaha appeared, he jumped into Garbhodaka ocean. He lifted the Bhumandala. After lifting the Bhumandala, placing it in its position, out of ecstasy, he kind of moved his body around. Wherever the water fell, which came out of his body, that is all grown up like this kusha grass. The water drops which came out of the body of Lord Varaha, it grew up as kusha grass. That's why kusha grass is auspicious. If somebody sits on kusha grass, they also become auspicious. If something is kept in the kusha grass, as kusha grass kept in something else, they will not be affected by eclipse, all these bad things and all. So it's like that.
In the temple,
Hare-
we perform sacrifices, those bags of kusha.
They are all kusha grass mats. By
Hare
sitting on
Krishna.
them. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, what is the significance of getting Prachina Barishi's story in between like this? Like you said, now ignorance may, goodness may, passion may, and goodness may, it was there. Then pure goodness may, Narad Muni and Pracheta's story comes. So why this karma kanda, the person who is interested in karma kanda fruitive activities is mentioned in between?
See, anything if you do moderately, it is good. If you overdo, the purpose is lost.
Yeah,
said
but then
that,
why this is brought in between? I'm asking, like the flow of the six
by
makes.
this story only we understand the glories of Narada Muni.
Okay.
Because here the hero will be Narada Muni.
No, even in Dhruva Maharaj, he gave the instructions to was given by Narad Muni only. Right?
That was nothing. That was only some 10-20 slokas. That was like a description of Lord's beautiful form.
Okay.
You read 29th chapter.
Hmm.
You will understand the excellence of Narada Muni.
Yeah.
Because we can't understand anything.
Okay.
So
So
he
for
so excellently presents
glorification.
the entire allegorical story of Puranjana,
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
our
yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So in that,
Okay.
of course, one is genealogical story in which the Prachinabari comes. On the other side, we are also seeing the excellence of devotees and devotional service in that Nardamuni comes. So in that, whoever has some technical doubts about what mind is all about, how mind functions, intelligence functions, how the body functions. If anybody of you have any of your children doing a medicine, for 1 year they do anatomy. The first 1 year they have to spend a lot of time with the dead body. They have to understand the human body, how it is constructed and all. 1 whole year they have to spend with the dead body. It's all anatomy that we will understand in that story of Puranjana. Everything is there. Third canto we discussed about embryology, how child grows and all in the womb. This section will teach us about anatomy.
Very nice, Prabhu.
And also science of reincarnation and how mind functions. People are all worried. I'm stressed, I'm tension, all these things, so many things, so many problems. So this pastime will reveal all those things.
Will that help us to curb the mind?
If one seriously studies, it will help. Just for the sake of studying, it will not help.
Because even Arjun says Chanchalam Krishna. So it's like not easy to.
That is from the external point of view, how mind is the symptoms of mind. Here we'll understand what mind is all about, how it acts, why it acts, the way it acts.
But which pastime in this mind ka comes, Prabhu? It is in Bharat Maharaja section, mind ke body and all those things comes.
No, here only.
Prachinabari mein.
Mind and body, everything comes here only. The whole body comes in the 25th chapter, mind comes in the 29th chapter.
Okay. Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, because yeah, that's why I'm listening again to you.
Exam लिखा भूल गए बस.
नहीं exam ही नहीं लिखा ना. We never had any exams.
No. In your Bhakti Vaibhav.
Yeah. That's why I'm listening again, Prabhuji, because now it is becoming much more clearer. So the more I'm listening, the more I'm able to understand. That's why. Thank you.
Correct. So we'll go ahead. Any other devotees? Any questions following?
No, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay. Samudrim deva devoktam upayemesha tadrutim yam viksha sharu sarvangim kishorim sushtu alankritam parikramantim udvahe chakramegni sukim iva.
Maharaj Barhishat, henceforward known as Prachina Barhi, was ordered by the supreme demigod Lord Brahma to marry the daughter of the ocean named Shatadruti. Her bodily features were completely beautiful and she was very young. She was decorated with proper garments, and when she came into the marriage arena and began circumambulating it, the fire god Agni became so attracted to her that he desired her company exactly as he had formerly desired to enjoy Shuki.
So his marriage has been discussed here. So his marriage was settled with the daughter of ocean god. Her name is Shatadruti. And Lord Brahma himself arranged their marriage. So during their marriage, while they were moving around the fire, Yajna sacrifice, the fire god became attracted to the bride. Bride only. Bridegroom is the boy, bride is the girl. So fire god himself, Agni himself became attracted to her. Just like in the past, he was attracted to Suki. There was another girl, he was attracted to her. So this verse and next verse talks about her beauty. So he married a most beautiful girl. That was the understanding basically. He married the daughter of the ocean on the instruction of Lord Brahma, Deva Deva. The story of Suki is as follows. At a sacrifice of the great sages at some point of time in the past, the great sages led by Saptarishis, they performed a great sacrifice. During the sacrifice, the Agni became attracted to the wives of the sages. Agni's wife, Swaha, understanding this, took the form of the wives and approached Agni. So then, eventually, she left behind the semen of Agni at some other place in the Kusha grass. So from that Kusha grass, there appeared Suki, one girl. So that girl became one among the Brahmana community. The next time, when Agni saw that girl, he again became attracted to that girl also. So just like Agni became attracted to Suki in the past, now he became attracted to, what is her name? Shatadruti in this current sacrifice. So it is like that. That's how it is mentioned. So another name of Suki is Sukim Iva. Shatadruti was like a small stream of ghee. Whenever in a fire sacrifice, the ghee is poured, Agni becomes very happy. So just like Agni becomes very happy when he sees the stream of honey, so like that, he is happy by looking at her. Something like that comparison is given. So not only Agni, everyone in that assembly became attracted to her. That is mentioned in the next verse. So in this purport and the next purport, Prabhupada writes that the nature of this material world is people become attracted to opposite sex. There is no way out for that. The only way to protect oneself is one should become attracted to Lord Krishna. Once one is attracted by Krishna, the illusory energy of the world cannot attract one. So only if one becomes attracted to Supreme Lord, one cannot be attracted by opposite sex. So that is what is indicated in the two purports. Vibhudasura Gandharva Muni Siddha Naroraga Vijita Suryaya Dikshu Kvanayantaiva Nupurai.
While Shatadruti was thus being married, the demons, the denizens of Gandharvaloka, the great sages, and the denizens of Siddhaloka, the earthly planets, and Nagaloka, although highly exalted, were all captivated by the tinkling of her ankle.
Yeah. The Devatas, demons, Gandharvas, Siddhas, Nagas, and humans who are all assembled in that marriage ceremony, everyone became attracted to her. So that's what it is. They were captivated by the sounds of the bride's ankle bells, not even by her, since they could not see her. So that is indicated like this.
She's the daughter of
Ocean, daughter of the ocean god. She was so beautiful that she was looking like the fire. So that's how it is indicated. She was as brightly shining as fire. That's why Agni became attractive. So in that way. Prachina Barisha Putra Shatadrutyam Dashabhavan Tulyanama Vrata Sarve Dharmasnata Prachetasa.
King Prachina Barhi begot 10 children in the womb of Shatadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prachetas.
Yeah. So Prachina Barhi had 10 children to Shatadruti. They are called Prachetas. Important thing is that they are not one after the other. The 10 children were born together. They are the twins. 10 twins. They were all born together only. And they were all equal in their names, in their vow, and in their religious duties. Dharmasnata. Tulya Nama Vrata Sarve. They were all same in all respects. They were all so gentle and so friendly, so cooperative that actually pleased the Lord Vishnu. Later on we read that in the chapter 30, Lord Vishnu says, I am very much pleased with you because all of you are cooperative to each other. That cooperation pleases Lord Vishnu. That is understood from this pastime. So this is the greatness of the 10 prachetas. They are always dedicated to the practice of dharma. They possess all good qualities, and they are perfectly religious, and they are perfect in executing their vows to render devotional service. They are also expert in their good behavior. These are all good qualities of the 10 prachetas.
Studying this chapter, Rudra Gita, and you must have said the connection in the beginning.
Wait, 2 verses, everything will come clear. Pita Pitradishta Praja Sarge Tape Tapasernavam Dashavarsha Sahasrani Tapasarcham Tapaspatim.
When all these Sachitas were ordered by their father to marry and beget children, they all entered the ocean and practiced austerities and penances for 10,000 years. Thus, they worshipped the master of all austerity, the supreme son of God.
Yeah. When ordered by their father, Pitra Adishta, in order to beget children, Praja Sarge, they entered the ocean for performing austerities. And through austerity, lasting for 10,000 years, began worshipping the Supreme Lord, the master of austerity. Prachina Barihi was also expert in Kriya Yoga. He was expert in performing Yajna, expert in performing Yoga. He was also called as Prajapati. So he begot 10 children. He requested his children also, my dear sons, please go and perform austerities in such a way that you get a good wife and you get a good progeny. So, just like Kardama Muni also performed 10,000 years tapasya in order to get a good wife so that he can fulfill the order of his father, Lord Brahma. These 10 prachetas also, they went to the ocean, they went into the deep within the ocean. Inside the water, they performed austerities for 10,000 years, not 1 day, 2 days. Human beings cannot stay in the water for a long time. Fishes can stay in the water for a long time. But these people are so expert in yoga and all, they could stay within the water for 10,000 years and perform tapasya. That's why they got the name Prachetas. Varuna, who is the ocean god, his another name is Prachetasa. Varuna. His name is Prachetasa because he lives in the water. Since he lives in the water, it's called Prachetasa. Because these people also performed severe austerities in the water, inside the water, they got the name Prachetas. Their father might have given them some different names. Rava, Krishna, this thing like this one. But after performing these austerities inside the ocean for 10,000 years, they got the name Prachetas. So it's like that. That is the meaning of their name. So Prabhupada writes, if one wants to perform austerity, they should perform austerities for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tapaspati means the Supreme Lord, the master of austerities. They began worshipping him inside the water. How did they worship? That comes in the next verse. Yaduktam pati drishtena girishena prasidata tad dhyayanto japantascha pujayantascha samyata.
When all the sons of Prachina Barhi left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who out of great mercy instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachina Barhi meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention.
So in the previous purport, Prabhupada says that since Prachetas who belong to previous ages, they could perform tapasya for 10,000 years. But in Kali Yuga, we can't do all these things, big things. The only tapasya what we can do is chanting the name of the Supreme Lord, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If even we can't do that much simple tapasya also, we are certainly bewildered by Maya. Like that Prabhupada says in the previous part. And in the current verse, it is said that with complete control, the 10 prachetas meditated upon Dhyayanto, chanted Japantas, and worshipped Pujayantas. By the worshipped the prayers, worshipped the Supreme Lord by the prayers taught by Lord Shiva, whom they met on their way to the ocean and had pleased. In this way, they worshipped the Supreme Lord. How did they perform the tapasya for 10,000 years? Just by meditating upon, chanting, and worshipping the Supreme Lord, as they were instructed by Lord Shiva, who was very much pleased with them. So this is the connection. So what Lord Shiva spoke to them is Rudra Gita. What they chanted for 10,000 years and what they meditated upon is Rudra Gita. Chanting Rudra Gita, they performed tapasya for 10,000 years. Like that. They worshipped the Lord by meditating on the prayers spoken by Lord Shiva. So thus, Lord Shiva became the spiritual master for the 10 sons of Prachina Barhi. Like that, anyone and everyone accepts Lord Shiva, the spiritual master, and follows his instructions very seriously, they can attain the Supreme Lord, just like the 10 Prachetas also attain the Supreme Lord. So this is what Prabhupada mentions in the purport. A disciple should consider whether he is going back to Godhead. His first business should be to execute the order of the spiritual master. Thus, a disciple should always meditate on the order of the spiritual master, and that is perfectional meditation. Not only should he meditate upon the order, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. This is the important duty of the disciple.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So, yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, Prachetas, they did not worship Lord Shiva and requested him to become the spiritual master. Now, what was their reason why Shiva came there and gave them Rudra Gita and told them to perform devotional service to the Supreme Lord?
Yeah, that is the question Vidura asked. Same question you are asking. Vidura is asking the same question. How did Lord Shiva came there and what did he spoke to them? Why he spoke to them, etc., etc.
How he's coming and
Now let us see what Vidura asked and how did Lord Shiva happen to come there and what did he speak, etc. is the subject matter of the entire chapter. Vidura uvacha prachetasam giritrena yatasi pati sangama yadutaha hara pritas tanno brahman vadarhavat.
Vidura asked Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, why did the Prachetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became very pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly, such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful upon them and explain.
Vidura said, "O Brahmana, please clearly tell me what Shiva, being pleased with the Prachetas, spoke to the Prachetas when he met them on their path to ocean." Simple question. Please tell me what secret knowledge that Lord Shiva spoke to the Prachetas. What was the secret knowledge? So Prabhupada writes, whenever there are some important talks between a devotee and the Lord or between some exalted devotees, one should be very much curious to hear them. One should always eager to hear and understand them more and more. As everyone is still eager to learn the subject of Bhagavad Gita in order to become perfectly enlightened, Vidura was similarly eager to learn from the great sage Maitreya about the talks between Lord Shiva and the Prachetas. A student should be so eager to understand what they discuss more in more details. Sangama kalu viprarshe Shive neha sharirinam durlabo munayo dadyor asangadyam abhipsitam.
The great sage Vidur continued, O best of the Brahmanas, it is very difficult for living entities engaged within this material body to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Even great sages who have no material attachments do not contact him, despite their always being absorbed in meditation to attain his personal contact.
Yeah. Oh, best among the Brahmanas, Vipra Rishe, it is rare in this world to meet with Lord Shiva, the object of one's desire, upon whom the sages meditate. Yam Munayo Dadyuhu, after giving up all attachments. So many great munis giving up all attachment to this material world, accepting sannyasa and accepting some severe vow, austerities and vows. They meditate upon Lord Shiva with a desire to see Lord Shiva, but it is very rare to see Lord Shiva. But how could Lord Shiva came and met with Prachetas on his own? What was so special about this conversation? Can you please speak about this? So like that. So in the purport, Prabhupada talks about Lord Shiva. Since Lord Shiva does not incarnate himself unless there is some special reason, it is very difficult for an ordinary person to contact him. However, Lord Shiva does descend on a special occasion when he is ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, it is stated in the Padma Purana that Lord Shiva appeared as a Brahmana in the age of Kali to preach Mayavada philosophy, which is nothing but a type of Buddhism philosophy, which is stated in the Padma Purana. Mayavadam Asas Prachannam Bauddha Muchate. Mayaiva Vihitam Devi Kalau Brahmana Murtina. So in Kali Yuga, by my order, Mayaiva Vihitam Devi. Lord Shiva is speaking to Mother Parvati, says that, oh my dear Devi, by the order of the Supreme Lord, I myself will appear will appear as Brahmana Murti, as a Brahmana. For what purpose? To preach Mayavada. What is that? Asas Shastra. It is not as per the essence of Shastra. And what kind of philosophy is that? Prachannam Bauddha Muchate. It was a covered Buddhism. To teach that I'll appear like that, Lord Shiva says. That was referring to Sripad Shankara Pracharya. Sripad Shankaracharya had to make some compromise with the Buddhist philosophy, and as such he preached the philosophy of monism, for it was required at that time. Otherwise, there was no need for his preaching Mayavada philosophy. At the present moment, there is no need for Mayavada philosophy or Buddhist philosophy, and Lord Chaitanya rejected both of them. This Krishna consciousness movement is spreading the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya and rejecting the philosophy of both classes of Mayavadi. Strictly speaking, both Buddhist philosophy and Shankara's philosophy are but different types of Mayavada dealing on the platform of material existence. Neither of these philosophies has spiritual significance. There is spiritual significance only after one accepts the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, which culminates in surrender unto Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Generally, people worship Lord Shiva for some material benefit, and although they cannot see him personally, they derive great material profit by worshipping Lord Shiva. For Lord Shiva is Ashutosh, easily pleased in that way. Giving up material association, the sages strongly desiring to attain Lord Shiva meditate on him. So, like that. Atma Ramopi Yastvasya Lokakalpasya Radase Shaktya Yukto Vicharati Ghoraya Bhagavan Bhava.
Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnu, is self-sufficient. Although he has nothing to aspire for in the material world, for the benefit of those in the material world, he is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies like Goddess Kali and Goddess Durga.
Though he appears to the sages by their meditation, he also appears in the world accompanied by his dangerous material energy to bestow boons to those desiring material benefits. Sometimes Lord Shiva appears to his renounced followers once in a while, but generally, in order to bestow benedictions to the people in general who are materialistic minded, he comes with his consort Durga Devi, and both of them bless the people in general unlimitedly to fulfill their material desires. We see all over India, more than Vishnu temples, we have the Shiva temples and Durga Devi temples. Because there is a need for that. People take shelter of the Lord in order to fulfill their desires. Though he is self-satisfied and in that form is the object of sages, Lord Shiva engaged with his material energy most in this world to help people accomplish their material desires. This is Lord's compassion on the common people. For ardent Shiva followers, he appears sometimes, but people in general is there in the deity form to bless them. Though he does not appear, but he is there in the deity form to bless them for the fulfillment of their desires.
So to his ardent followers, what does he give? But
He takes them to Shiva Loka if they are so expert. That's what, no?
so this people do desire to go to Shivloka also. And what is their option?
Kailash, whatever is there.
So his
There is one Shiva Loka in Kailash where his family is there. They become part of the Shiva Loka. Other Shiva Loka is Brahman. They attend Sahajya Mukti.
He had description of place where Shiva is there. That Shivloka was beautifully explained.
That's episode only.
Yeah, so
That
that's
is Kailash. That is in the greater Himalayas.
not here, somewhere else.
Not in the Indian border, northern border, not that. Greater Himalayas. They go there.
Hare Krishna,
So it's
Prabhuji.
Brahman, right?
Yes, Mataji.
When we speak of Lord Shiva, we
Hmm.
refer to Lord Sadashiv or the Rudras.
Actually, when we speak Lord Shiva, Sadashiva's expansion as Shankar Bhagavan Visena, the one who stays in Kailash, who stays along with Parvati, whose children were Ganeshji and Kartikeya. So generally that's Shiva, who is always available for all of us to bless in three different ways. One is as a Vaishnava Acharya, that will mention in the upcoming verses. As he appeared to the 10 Prachetas, he appears there as a Vaishnava Acharya. Otherwise, for the ardent Shiva followers, the yogis which were discussed in the previous verse and this current verse, when he is pleased with their hard worship, he appears to them as Lord Shiva, and either he takes them to Kailash or he takes them to Brahman, Sadashiva Loka, one of the two, according to their desire. Otherwise, Lord Shiva and Mother Durga are there everywhere. In every village, Lord Shiva deity will be there. Durga's deity by default will be there. Without Durga Devi deity, no village will be there in India. Yeah, she will be Grama Devata for every village by default. So
And,
both of them are there to bless people in general to fulfill their material desires.
So we understand that Lord Shiva is an expansion of Lord Sadashiv.
Yes, yes. Lord Sadashiva himself expands the 11 Rudras and appears in each and every universe. Just like Karmadakshaya Vishnu expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into each and every universe, Sadashiva expands as 11 Rudras, enters into each and every universe.
As Lord Shiva.
Yeah, among the 11 Rudras, one is Lord Shiva. In one sense, all 11 are same only, but they are having different names and different pastimes at different places they reside. So like that.
Okay. Thank you.
But among the 11, we always hear about and talk about Lord Shankara, who stays in Kailash.
Thank you
Yes,
very
is
much.
prominent Rudra. So it's like that. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes, so that Shiva, by the order of the Lord, appeared as Shankaracharya. He taught Mayavada everywhere. But at the end, he said that, forget about this Vardhajaklari, worship Govinda. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. Oh, fool. Worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda. There is nothing you will get by Vardhajaklari. So like that, he concluded his teachings. Of course, externally, he has to preach Mayavada, he preached. but internally he was a devotee. His prayers itself vouched for that. 4 prayers, 4 songs he wrote. Jagannath Ashtakam, Panduranga Ashtakam, Ranganath Ashtakam, and Badrinath Ashtakam. So he wrote Ashtakam for all. Even Dwaraka Ashtakam also, Dwaraka Krishna Ashtakam also something is there. All the 4 cities, the Chardham we say na, in relation to Chardham, he wrote Ashtakams.
Vaishnav Chardham.
Vaishnav Chardham. So now Maitreya will respond. He will introduce what Lord Shiva spoke to the 10 Prachetas. Then actual Rudra Gita will begin afterwards.
Which was the
I also don't know. Let us enter. Maitreya Uvacha Parachetasa Pitu Vakyam Sirasadaya Sadava Disham Pratichim Prayayus Tapasi Adrita Chetasa.
The great sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidur, because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prachina Barhi were very seriously accepted the words of their father with great heart and soul, and with these words on their heads, they went towards the west to execute their father's order."
Yeah. Accepting the words of their father, the well-bred Prachetas, determined to perform austerities, went to the west. Prachina means east. Pratichina means west. Prachina is east. Pratichina is west. They went to the west. So many years back, we have been to Guruvayur. In Guruvayur, there is a temple. They say that the 10 Prachetas performed austerities here.
There is south. Guruvayur is in south.
We don't know. They say like that. That is where Lord Shiva spoke Rudra Gita to the 10 Prachetas in Guruvayur.
This place thing.
A temple is there. They say that past time took place there like that.
Yeah, but right now it's south in terms of India. Overall,
Yeah, we don't know where exactly it happened, but it is like kind of replica pastime place, we can say.
yeah.
So, but at least if somebody goes to Guruvayur, they can visit that Lord Shiva temple where they say that Lord Shiva spoke Prachetas, the Rudra Gita there only. That's what they say. The temple Sthalapurana.
So visible.
During South India Yatra in 2010, we visited that. Samudram Upavistirnam Apashyan Sumahat Shara Mahammana Iva Swacham Prasanna Salilashayam.
While traveling, the Prachetas happened to see a great reservoir of water which seemed almost as big as the ocean. The water of this lake was so calm and quiet that it seemed like the mind of a great soul. And its inhabitants, the aquatics, appeared very peaceful and happy to be under the protection of such a waterful.
Yeah. In the previous purport, Prabhupada writes that a perfect sadhu is one who is always engaged in the devotional service of Supreme Lord. Prachina Bari sons are described as sadhava because of their complete obedience to their father. The father, the king, the spiritual master are supposed to be represented to Supreme Lord. Father, king, and guru. They are the representative of Supreme Lord. And as such, they have to be respected as the Supreme Lord. Father, king, and the guru should be respected as the Supreme Lord. It is the duty of the father, the spiritual master, and the king to regulate their subordinates in such a way that they ultimately become fully unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord. That is the duty of the superiors. And it is the duty of the subordinates to obey the orders of the their elders, obey their orders perfectly and in a disciplined way. The word Sirasa is also significant. For the Prachetas accepted the orders of their father and carried them on their heads, which means they accepted them in complete surrender. These are the duties of a son, subject, and disciple, and also the duty of the father, king, and guru. So next, where they were going, on their way, they saw a huge lake, Mahas Saras, very huge lake, wide like the small ocean, clear like the mind of a saint. Mahatmana iva swacham. The lake is crystal clear like the mind of a great saint, which was the abode of contented fish. Prasanna Selila Ashayam. The lake is the residence of the fishes, which are completely satisfied, completely peaceful. So in that way, there is a description of the lake. Lake is called as Upasamudram, means somewhat less than an ocean in size. So in that way. So in this purport, Prabhupada writes about Mahatmana Iva Swacham. The mind of a saint supposed to be clear, like crystal clear water. A devotee's mind is always clean, quiet, and desireless because he is always Anyabhilashta Shunyam, having no desire other than the service to Krishna as his personal servant, friend, father, mother, or conjugal lover. Due to his association with Krishna, a devotee is always very calm and cool. It is also significant that within that reservoir, all the aquatics were also very calm and quiet. Because the disciples of a devotee have taken shelter of a great soul, they become very calm and quiet and are not agitated by the waves of the material world. How can one become peaceful? By taking shelter of the service of the Supreme Lord. Even if one suffers some reversals in life, a devotee is never agitated. Therefore, whoever takes shelter of a great soul or a great devotee becomes completely pacified. So that is the nature of a devotee. Neelaraktootpalamboja Kalarendivaraakaram Hamsasarasa Chakrahva Karendava Nikujitam.
In that great lake, there were different types of lotus flowers. Some of them were bluish and some of them were red. Some of them grew at night, some in the day, and some like the Indivar lotus flower in the evening. Combined together, the lotus flowers filled the lake so full that the lake appeared to be a great mine of such flowers. Consequently, on the shores, there were swans and cranes, chakravak, karandav, and other beautiful water birds standing about.
The description of the lake is given. The lake was a reservoir of blue and red night blooming lotuses, day blooming lotuses, twilight blooming white lotuses. It has lotuses, some bloom in the daytime, some bloom during the morning and evening times, some bloom during the night times. And blue day blooming lotuses and resounded with the cries of swans, cranes, chakravakas, and ducks. This is the beautiful scenery of the entire lake. And then Matta Brahmara Sauswarya Rishta Roma Latangripam Padma Kosharajo Dikshu Vikshipat Pavanostavam.
There were various trees and creepers on all sides of the lake, and there were manned bumblebees humming all about them. The trees appeared to be very jolly due to the sweet humming of the bumblebees, and the sap, which was contained in the lotus flowers, was being thrown into the air. These all created such an atmosphere that it appeared as though a festival were taking place.
Yeah. It was surrounded with trees and creepers whose shoots stood up like hair standing on end. because of the humming of the intoxicated bees humming. The wind threw lotus pollen everywhere in a great festival. The entire atmosphere is surcharged with so many flower and fruit trees and creepers, and entire arena is fully fragrant with a wonderful aroma, and the entire area is filled with bumblebees, etc. The lake had trees and creepers whose shoots stood up in joy on hearing the pleasing humming of the mad bees. A festival was created by the wind, scattering lotus pollen everywhere. Tatra Gandharvamakarnya Divya Marga Manoharam Visismyu Rajaputraste Mrudanga Panavadyano.
The sons of the king became very much amazed when they heard vibrations from various drums and kettle drums, along with other orderly musical sounds pleasing to the ear.
Yeah. Then, hearing the sounds of drums, followed by attractive celestial songs in celestial style, the sons of King Prachina Barishat became astonished. Then there appeared lot of sounds of the instruments. They heard songs of elevated style after the sounds of drum. And the songs were protected by the drums. They did not overpower the songs by their sounds. Basically, the music and the singing is in perfect symphony. It is not like the ordinary human songs. It is the song of a variety type only. The heavenly kind of music, heavenly kind of singing. After all these descriptions, so Prabhupada says that the Mayavada impersonalists, they are attracted to voidism, Nirvisheshavada, Shunyavada, etc. etc. But the master of them, the Mayavada worshippers is Lord Shiva, is filled with variety. They are quite against to what their master is all about. So that's what Prabhupada highlights in the purport. Impersonalists are generally worshippers of Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva is never without variety in his abode. Thus, wherever one goes, whether to the planet of Lord Shiva, to the planet of Lord Vishnu, or to the planet of Lord Brahma, there is variety to be enjoyed by persons full in knowledge and bliss. But the impersonalists are after no variety, voidism. So it is like that. So this is the description of the lake from which Lord Shiva appears. And what is the description of Lord Shiva's bodily description will be in the next verses that we will see after the break. We will have a small break. So after the break, we will continue with the verse number 24. Hare Krishna, devotees are there.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
So we'll continue with text 24. Tarhyevasaratastasman nishkramantam sahanugam upagiyamanam amarapravaram upagiyamanam amara pravaram vibudanugai tapashemanika nikayabham siti kantam trilocanam prasada sumukam viksha pranemur jata kautuka.
The Prachetas were fortunate to see Lord Shiva, the chief of the demigods, emerging from the water with his associates. His bodily luster was just like the molten gold. His throat was bluish, and he had 3 eyes, which looked very mercifully upon his devotees. He was accompanied by many musicians who were glorifying him. As soon as the Prachetas saw Lord Shiva, they immediately offered their obeisances in great amazement and fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord.
Yeah. The description of Lord Shiva is there in this particular verse. At that moment, the 10 Prachetas saw emerging from the lake the chief of the Devatas, Amara Pravara, the beautiful Shiva, effulgent like a pile of molten gold. Tapta Hema Nikaya Abam. That means Lord Shiva appearing to be like a pile of molten gold, as effulgent as pile of molten gold, emerging from the lake. With blue throat, Siti Kantam or Neelakanta, 3 eyes, Three Lochanam, and brilliant face, Prasada Sumukam, brilliant face, accompanied by his followers, Saha Anugam, while being glorified by the followers of the Devatat. With curiosity aroused, they offered respects, Pranemu. So, as Lord Shiva was emerging from the waters of that lake, which was surrounded by so many beautiful flower bearing and food bearing trees filled with lot of fragrant flowers, surrounded by humming bees, and the lake filled with so many variety of birds. So, and the entire arena is surrounded by the Upadevatas who are always playing the instruments. In the midst of all these things, the playing instruments, singing and dancing and everything, Lord Shiva suddenly appeared. He appeared to be like the pile of molten gold, and with blue throat, 3 eyes, brilliant face, and his followers are there next to him, while the Devatas were glorifying his wonderful glories. So this is the bodily description of Lord Shiva. And in the purport, Prabhupada talks about Lord Shiva is called as Ashutosh. He is very easily pleased. Among the Devatas, it is very easy to please Lord Shiva. That's why everyone gets fulfilled of their desires by worshipping Lord Shiva. But sometimes Lord Shiva gives the blessings in such a way that people are put into trouble, or sometimes Lord Shiva himself is put into trouble by his own blessings. So, but without caring for that, Lord Shiva offers blessings just like that, freely, for anyone and everyone whoever approaches him. So in that way. Generally, the devotees of Lord Shiva approach Lord Shiva for material benedictions. And Prabhupada said that. But the devotees of Lord Vishnu, not like that. They do not approach Lord Vishnu for material benedictions. Instead, they approach Lord Vishnu for spiritual benedictions. Like that, Prabhupada draws a contrast. Satan Prapannartiharo Bhagavan Dharmavastala Dharmajnan Shila Sampannan Prita Pritan Uvachaha.
Lord Shiva became very pleased with the Prachetas because generally Lord Shiva is the protector of pious persons and persons of gentle behavior. Being very much pleased with the princes, he began to speak as follows.
Yeah. Lord Shiva, who takes away the distress of the surrendered, Saha Bhagavan Prapanna Artihara. Prapanna, surrendered, Artihara, he removes the distress of the surrendered souls. And who has affection for Dharma, Dharma Vastala. He was very much pleased with the Prachetas, who knew Dharma and had good conduct. Dharmajnan Shila Sampannan. Because Prachetas knew about Bhakti and Dharma, the Prachetas are endowed with good qualities. Lord Shiva on his own appeared in front of the Prachetas and spoke to them to their delight. This is the eagerness of Lord Shiva. Generally, the people come to Lord Shiva asking for material benedictions. Lord Shiva fulfills their desire, but he does not show his darshan. For some yogis, after long meditation, long penances, Lord Shiva may appear. But when it comes to devotees, Lord Shiva on his own comes to the devotees and gives his own darshan to the devotees. That is the kind of affection Lord Shiva will hold for the devotees of the Supreme Lord. So that's how we have to see. For his own devotees appears after a long time. For the people in general who come for material fulfillment of material desires, he fulfills their desires, but he never gives darshan. But for devotees, even though they did not ask, Lord Shiva comes on his own and gives his darshan and useful instructions unto the devotees. This is Lord Shiva's eagerness toward the devotees. And now Lord Shiva is going to speak to the Prachetas. So before he actually begins to speak Rudra Gita, he introduces the Rudra Gita. What is Rudra Gita is all about. And he tells them why he is speaking Rudra Gita to Prachetas. That is mentioned in few verses. Sri Rudra Uvacha Yuyam Vedi Sada Putra Veditam Vaschakirshatam Anugrahaya Badram Va Evam Me Darshanam Kritam. Read the translation.
Lord Shiva said, "You are all the sons of King Prachina Barhi, and I wish all good fortune to you. I also know what you are going to do, and therefore I am visible to you just to show my mercy upon you."
Lord Shiva said, "You are the sons of Barishad. I know what you are planning to do. I have auspiciously shown myself to you to give you mercy. Anugrahaya. In order to show mercy upon you, I came myself unto you." In the purport, Prabhupada taking this word Anugraha, he says that all the devatas are different Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas have different category, different cadre. They are always eager to help the different devotees. Whenever a person wants to become devotee, all the devatas on their own come to the devotee and help them so that they can advance further and further in their devotional service. Like Lord Shiva is approaching Prachetas here. I have shown myself to you for giving mercy to you. I know that you plan to worship the Supreme Lord, or I have come to see you to give you mercy. Since all of you came here to worship the Supreme Lord by the process of meditation, I came to give you mercy. So like that. Since Prachetas wanted to become devotees, Lord Shiva came on his own to help them. Yes, yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Prachina Bari was not a Vaishnava, and he was doing Karmakanda activities, isn't it?
We can say he is actually a Bhakti Mishra Karmi.
Bhakti Mishra Karmi. Because when
Yeah.
Narad Muni shows him, the animals he sacrificed and all those things, how they'll come back, that means he was totally doing Karmakanda activities only. But here it is said, these are sons of Vaishnavas, and and he has instructed them to perform austerities. So that's why I'm asking.
Yes, yes. See, problem is that as you mentioned, na, doing something is not wrong. Overdoing
Overdoing.
something, one gets carried away by that.
How do you know? How does the person judge ki whether he's overdoing or not? Is doing it exactly like? How does a person know about that?
Sorry.
How does a person?
Here
How does
Mataji
a
saying that Indra will judge.
Indra will
will
judge.
come and put some Indra will come and put some obstacles, whether somebody is overdoing or not. Basically,
Yes,
one's
sir.
motive. It depends. What was the motive with which one is performing all those yajnas? So that here Prachina Barihi has become so much overwhelmed with the concept of performing yajna after yajna. He was carried away by with the thought of yajna, without forgetting why yajna is supposed to be performed. He was interested in performing yajna after yajna. That has become his principal thought. Even Prithu Maharaj also we discussed. 2-3 yajnas would have been sufficient to provide necessary prosperity for the people in Jannah to live happily. But he decided to perform 100. He wanted to complete 100. That's where the problem came with Indra.
No, I agree to all those things. But my question is, when does one person know he is overdoing something karke? Like, you know, even in
That's
our
what
day-to-day things.
when the motive changes, when one is doing as a matter of duty, that is fine. But one is doing just because I need to do. I mean, karna chahiye. So it's like that. When the worship of Lord becomes work is worship. So in that way.
Okay. Okay.
Even we saw in the previous example, Antardana, he was also performing yajna in order to avoid the kingly duties. That is only a plea. But in his inner chambers, he was continuously worshipping the Supreme Lord only. As a plea, he was continuously performing yajna, but he was not too attached to performance of yajna. So it's like that. Ya param brahma sakshat triguna jiva samnitat bhagavantam vasudevam prapanna sa priyohime.
Lord Shiva continued, any person who is surrendered to the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature as well as the living entity, is actually very dear to me.
Becoming a devotee is not so easy. Prabhupada quotes both the verses from Bhagavad Gita. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Manushanam sahasreshu kachita siddhe. That all Prabhupada quotes in somewhere in the purport. And then Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manasashtra Indriyani Prakrutistani Karshati. That also Prabhupada quotes. So becoming a devotee is not so easy thing. It is very rare. That's why the Devatas like Lord Shiva and all, they are very much pleased if somebody becomes a pure devotee. So see your Lord Shiva jubilantly coming on his own to help the Prachetas who want to become devotees of highest order. He who has completely surrendered to Lord Vasudeva, who is superior to Maya, who is superior to Jiva Shakti, and who is superior to Brahman, is very dear to me. Lord Shiva is telling that whichever living entity takes shelter of Lord Vasudeva, who is superior to Maya Devi, who is superior to Jiva Shakti, who is superior to Brahman, that devotee becomes very dear to me. How can I avoid that devotee's association? So like that, Lord Shiva is telling. Lord Shiva explains why he is merciful to the Prachetas. One who has surrendered completely to Supreme Lord Vasudeva, such a devotee is very dear to me. Who is Lord Vasudeva? Why a person when surrendered to Lord Vasudeva becomes dear to you? So then he describes Lord Vasudeva. Lord Vasudeva is superior to subtle Pradhana or Prakriti. He is the master of Maya Devi, who is my wife.
Says so.
That one indirectly that one, na? He is master of my wife. That means he is master of me also, in that sense. And he is superior to Purusha, Jiva Samnitat. He is superior to all the Jivas, all the way up to Lord Brahma. That means he is the Antaryami. He is Paramatma. The only Paramatma is superior to Jivatma. There is no one else in this world. There are Jivatma, there is Paramatma. No one in between. Of course, that is Lord Shiva, Shambhu. This is Sri Swami's explanation. Or the Lord is superior to Maya Shakti, superior to Jiva Shakti, and to that, he is superior to that which is most difficult to perceive, Brahmasa, the Brahman without qualities. Lord is superior to Brahman also. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. I am the basis of Brahman. The person who fully surrenders to Lord Vasudeva, not just offering karmas and not mixing the worship with the devatas or jnana, such a person is dear to me. Which kind of person becomes dear to Lord Shiva? When a devotee takes shelter of Lord Shiva without any mixture of, will take shelter of Lord Vasudeva without any mixture of karma, without any mixture of devata worship, without any mixture of jnana. That means unallied devotional service. Such a devotee becomes very dear to Lord Shiva. Now all of us are going through Kartika month. Whoever visits Vrindavan, they go to Govardhan Parikrama. One among the important places is Manasi Ganga. In the Manasi Ganga, we also have this temple of Sanatana Goswami, where he was writing books, but the masters disturbed him. He wanted to leave that place. Then Lord Shiva told Sanatana Goswami, don't worry, the masters will not disturb you. You stay here. I am very much happy with your association. So, like that. Lord Shiva always want to be in the association of the unallied devotees. He wants to take the association of unallied devotees. That such kind of devotees becomes dear to Lord Shiva. If Lord Shiva is not giving his audience to us, means we are not of that caliber. So in that way. So now, any questions till now?
In chapter Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna says that Uttama Purusha Swami, Kshara Akshara Evach. So he's talking about two types of living entities. Kshara,
Akshara.
that's fallible, infallible, Akshara. He says he's beyond that. So what does it mean when he says
He is not beyond that. Uttama Purushastu Anya Paramatmeti Udaruta. There is a person who is beyond fallible and infallible living entities. He is Paramatma.
Yeah.
It is Paramatma, not he.
Not yet he.
Not yet he.
Okay. So Paramatma.
Yo Lokatrayam Avishya Bibarti Avyaya Ishvara. That Paramatma having entered into the universe as Garbhodaksha Vishnu maintain the universe. Okay. He is superior to conditioned living entities and liberated living entities. Within the bracket, Brahman. Where do the liberated living entities go? Brahman. So Brahman is superior to Brahman also. Paramatma is superior to Brahman. Then who is superior to Paramatma? Bhagavan. What was the next verse? Yasmaksharam atitoham akshara Yatosmi loke vedecha pratita purushottama. Yasmat ksharam atitoham aksharad api cha uttama. Superior to Kshara and Akshara and Brahman and Paramatma is Bhagavan.
So that is mentioned that way.
Alright. It is supposed to be read like that. Superior to Kshara, superior to Akshara, superior to Brahman, superior to Paramatma is Bhagavan. But there are unlimited forms of Bhagavans. Among all the forms of Bhagavan, the Uttama Bhagavan is Purushottama. That Purushottama is Sri Krishna. Pratita loke vedecha atosmi loke vedecha pratita purushottama. Thus, I have been glorified in the Vedas and the Puranas as the Purushottama. Best among all the forms of Bhagavan, who is superior to Paramatma, who is superior to Brahman, who is superior to liberated living entities, who is superior to conditioned living entities. That was the meaning.
And yet, He's saying he's superior, still he is Vasudeva Krishna, not Nandan.
Bhagavad Gita is only Vasudeva Krishna. So it's like that. So if at all one wants to have the association of Lord Shiva, one should become unallied devotees without the mixture of karma, jnana, yoga, and devata worship. And now the next verse is very important verse. We'll discuss this elaborately. Kindly pay attention. This actually throws a light on complete Siddhanta. Rightly, you mentioned this verse, the gradation of the different forms of absolute truth. And in connection to all the devatas, where absolute truth stands. So that is indicated in this verse. Swadharmanishta shatajanma bippuman virinjitame tata paramhimam avyakritam bhagavatota vaishnavam padam yataham vibuddha kalatyaye.
A person who executes his occupational duty properly for 100 births becomes qualified to occupy the post of Brahma. And if he becomes more qualified, he can approach Lord Shiva. A person who is directly surrendered to Lord Krishna or Vishnu in unalloyed devotional service is immediately promoted to the spiritual planets. Lord Shiva and other demigods attain these planets after the destruction of this material world.
Let us examine word by word, line by line, what is the meaning of this verse. A person fixed in dharma attains the post of Brahma after 100 births. Swadharma nishta shatajanmavi puman virinchitam eti. A person who follows varnashrama duties properly for 100 lifetimes with complete dedication and surrender, they will become Brahma. Because Brahma is a living entity, Jiva Tattva, they will become Brahma. By following the varnashrama duties properly with bhakti, side by side, not without bhakti. And then by more pious activities than that, a person attains me. Tata paramhimam. Those people who practice with more sincerity the varnashrama duties which culminate in jnana and ashtanga yoga and bhakti yoga, they will attain me means they will attain my abode, either Kailash or Sadashiva Loka, which is nothing but Brahman. See, kindly see. One who performs 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas, they will become Indra. A person who practices Varnashrama Dharma properly for 100 lifetimes, they will become Brahma. So whoever does in between, they will become great sages like Vasishtha, Pulaha, Kratu, Agira, etc. etc. They become in between. A person who does less than 100 fire sacrifices, they will go to Swarga, they will become one of the residents of Swarga. Like the gradation you see. And one who does more than that, more than 100 lifetimes of Varnashram Dharma, that means they take up to Jnana Marga and Ashtanga Yoga Marga, Bhakti Marga, they practice them seriously, they will attain Sayujya Mukti. Tata Paramhima means they will come to me means they will attain Sayujya Mukti. Because Lord Shiva is the Lord of Brahman. He stays in Brahman. Such kind of people will attain Brahman. On the other hand, but devotees, the Bhagavatas, attain the abode of Vaikuntha, beyond the material world, beyond Brahman, by worshipping Lord Vishnu. So, just by dedicated to Varnashrama duties, one can become at max Brahma. By going beyond Varnashrama duties and practicing Jnana and Ashtanga Yoga along with Bhakti, one attains Sayujya. By exclusively practicing Bhakti, along with some Varnashrama duties, as a matter of duty, one goes to Vaikuntha. This is the gradation. And then Lord Shiva talks about himself. Similarly, I in another form reside in Vaikuntha. Yata aham. Lord Shiva says, I also reside in Vaikuntha in a different form, serving the Lord continuously. I don't know which form is that. Lord Shiva also stays in spiritual world in a different form, serving the Lord continuously. And for the purpose of assisting the Supreme Lord in creating material universes, he appears as Sadashiva, and that Sadashiva expands the 11 Rudras. One among them is Lord Shiva, about whom we are discussing today. So it's like that.
Again, to say it again. Lord,
Lord Shiva also stays in Vaikuntha in one of the spiritual universes, serving the Supreme Lord continuously. But for the purpose of assisting the Lord in order to create all the material universes, he expands as Sadashiva, who stays in Brahman. And that Sadashiva also enters into each and every universe as 11 Rudras. And the prominent among the 11 Rudras is Lord Shiva. So that is the connection. And now the more interesting thing is that similarly, I am in another form reside in Vaikuntha. And the Devatas who are qualified to go to Vaikuntha after destroying their subtle bodies will also go to Vaikuntha. And also Devatas reside in Vaikuntha who are qualified to go to Vaikuntha after finishing their duties and after destroying their subtle bodies. It's like that. Hear from my mouth the ranking of attainment of Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu according to the pious acts. Among attaining Lord Vishnu is by far superior. Being fixed in Dharma, a person attains the post of Brahma after 100 births. If he is not fixed, even after 100 births, he does not attain that position of Brahma. So one should perform varnashram with the motive of becoming Brahma. Then only one attains. Otherwise, one doesn't. By greater pious activities, one can attain me, who is superior to Brahma. That is Brahman, outside the universe. By the practice of Jnana and Ashtanga Yoga, one enters into Sayujya. But one who worships Lord Vishnu attains Vaikuntha, which is situated beyond material world and beyond Brahman, after leaving his body. Just as I reside in Vaikuntha at every moment, worshipping the Lord in one form. As I am living in Vaikuntha and worshipping the Lord continuously, similarly, an unallied devotee worshipping the Lord worshipping Lord Vishnu continuously will also go to Vaikuntha and execute devotional service unto Lord Vishnu, just as I am doing. It's like that. And then the Devatas who are qualified, devotees also, with the destruction of their subtle bodies, after finishing their duties, they cannot go immediately, even though they are qualified now, but they cannot go now because they have already committed to perform a duty. They will go to Vaikuntha only after completing their duties. Till then, they will continue to worship the Lord here only. Thus, Bhakti is shown at the best because it is easy to perform during the practice and even after attaining the Lord in the Vaikuntha. This is the gradation of different destinations that are there in the material and spiritual creation.
so these Devatas, after completing their tenure, they go, like Shiva is saying they go to Vaikuntha Loka. So now, since Shiva is speaking, Shiva is above the material world. So these people are not going to the Vaikuntha of the material world. They are going beyond, right? They are going the original Vaikuntha.
It does not matter. They may go here, the Vaikuntha, and they stay here with the Lord sometime. Then they go along with the Lord to Paravyuma. Once you go to Vaikuntha, they will not come back again. Yat gatva na nivartante taddama paramam.
That's true. Because Shiva is beyond that material Vaikuntha also. I should not say material Vaikuntha. But there is a Vaikuntha Loka in material world itself.
See, wherever it is Vaikuntha.
Yeah.
It does not matter in the material world or spiritual world. Vaikuntha is Vaikuntha. That's all. Shiva stays in Brahman. Sadashiva stays in Brahman. So he is the Lord of Brahman. That's why he says, Varnashrama Dharma 100 lifetimes, Brahma. More than that is Jnana and Ashtanga Yoga, Sahaja. More than that Bhakti, not just Bhakti, ordinary Bhakti. It is unallied Bhakti, Vaikuntha. Whoever fits in whichever category, they will get that. That's it.
She doesn't talk about the final, about.
Goloka Vrindavan, that is only 10th canto. 9 cantos does not talk about that.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, when you say Brahman is Brahma Jyoti you're referring to?
Ah, yes, Brahman means Brahma Jyoti. Sahaja.
Because, okay.
Sadashiva
there
stays
Lord-
there only.
Sadashiva stays in Brahma Jyoti.
Ah.
Okay.
He is the Lord of Brahma Jyoti.
Okay. This is the first time I'm hearing it, so I'm sobbing. I thought Brahma Jyoti was a place where there's no activity, nothing happens there. The souls are just
That's
like
what.
that.
Lord Shiva also does not do anything there. He simply meditates.
Okay.
The only activity the Jivan Muktas who have gone to Brahma Jyoti does is meditation. Sitting in Padmasan and meditation. No physical activity, no mental activity, only meditation.
So there all of them are meditation on what?
Meditation on the absolute truth.
Absolute truth as a form or as a abstract thing? Because see, Brahma
Absolute
Jyoti
truth
is a
as
platform. No, Brahma Jyoti is a
absolute truth in
platform
his
of
features known
liberation.
as Brahman.
This feature known as Brahman. They are in
Yes.
Brahman and they're worshipping Brahman itself.
Yes. They are meditating upon Brahman.
That means they are meditating on nothing, nothingness rather. Brahman का क्या?
Form, I don't know.
But see, Prabhuji, all of them are individual souls and all of them are meditating on, after reaching Brahman, they meditate on Brahman itself.
I don't need to.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
You mentioned that in Vaikuntha, Lord Shiva stays in a different form. So what form does he stay in Vaikuntha? In what
That
form?
is not mentioned. Yeah, in which form? Different people say different forms. Many devotees they say that Lord Shiva also has a Gopa form in Golok Vrindavan. He is also there is a Gopa form of Lord Shiva there. He is also one of the friend of Lord Krishna. Like that they say. But here the discussion is about Vaikuntha, not about Golok Vrindavan. But in whichever form, he is there to worship the Lord. Actually, there is a discussion, there is a hint about it. In the second canto, in the 9th chapter, when Brahma performed severe austerities for 1000 celestial years, he had the darshan of Vaikuntha. Brahma had the darshan of Vaikuntha during Brahma Kalpa, the very first day. Then in that Vaikuntha, he had seen everyone. Okay. Then he had seen 4, 4, 4, 5 energies, something like that. Some description was there. I don't remember exactly what was the description, but the different energies, which indicates the 24 elements in their deity forms. They are there worshipping the Supreme Lord. In the Vaikuntha, about whose darshan given to Lord Brahma. Among the deities of the 24 elements is Lord Shiva is there. Is the deity of Ahankara. So he is there worshipping the Lord in Vaikuntha continuously. That is one. In the same discussion, it is quoted, Chakravarti quotes 10th canto. He says that Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Brahma stole all the cowherd boys and calves, it was Lord Krishna expanded the calves and cowherd boys. When Brahma came back, the cowherd boys and calves transformed themselves into Chaturbhuja Vishnu forms. And one Vishnu is enclosed by one Brahmanda. Within that one Brahmanda, all the devatas such as Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, they were all worshipping him. All the preceding deities of the 24 elements and all the devatas who are in charges for the maintenance of the entire universe, they were all worshipping the Vishnu Murti forms. So, in that way.
Brahma saw that.
Brahma had the darshan. Every small cowherd boy transformed into Vishnu and one Vishnu like one Brahmanda. Within that, all the devatas are worshipping him. All the set of devatas, different Brahmas, different Shivas, different Indras. Every globe has one Brahma, one Shiva,
Obviously.
one Indra, one Chandra, one Varuna. They are all worshipping him. Like that is a. And then they all disappeared and one Krishna was seen again.
That means he saw the universe which he was present in.
Ah.
So he himself saw in the universe that globe.
No, that was not mentioned like that. It is mentioned about Yashodamai only.
Yeah.
He did not see himself, but he saw other Brahmas, all other universes in which the Vishnu forms are being worshipped by them. Indicating that one Krishna expands into that many Vishnus who are worshipped by so many other Brahmas.
Yeah.
You think you are one Brahma and superior or what, something like that. He showed his opulence. So in that way.
Another question, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Uh,
Mataji.
Beyond this Mahat Tattva, that is where all these universes are there, that entire area beyond that is the Brahman effulgence. Is that
Yes.
so?
Yes. Beyond
Okay.
Mahatattva, we have the layer of Pradhana. Beyond Pradhana layer, we have Brahman. In that Brahman only, we have Mahavishnu as well, Sadashiva.
Yes, yes, Karna.
Mahavishnu is on one side floating on the Karna ocean, Sadashiva on the other side.
Okay.
So Mahavishnu is toward the boundary where material nodes are there. Sadashiva on the other boundary where spiritual nodes are about to start. So both of them are in one sense, both of them are inside the Brahman only. Inside the Brahman.
Yes.
So in that way.
Thank you.
Time of creation, the same Mahavishnu glances on Prakriti. That glance is against Sadashiva.
Yeah, that's Sadashiva only. When he glanced, that time Sadashiva came out and interacted with Prakriti, and both of them are there. Pradhana is there and Sadashiva is there. When his glance is completed, when all the universe will be annihilated, that time Sadashiva enters and Prakriti also enters in.
In Mahavishnu.
Into Mahavishnu. That time there will be only Mahavishnu, no Prakriti, no Sadashiva.
That's true.
Actually, Sadashiva is not, no, but it's Vishnu
Still he
himself,
next
isn't
breathes
it?
out.
No,
Both of them are
Sadashiva
inside.
is
Sorry?
Sadashiva is Vishnu himself, isn't it? It is not somebody else.
Vishnu,
It's Vishnu himself.
yeah, Vishnu's
isn't it?
expansion. Vishnu's
Yeah,
expansion.
Vishnu's expansion. Yeah.
Not as Vishnu Tattva, not as
Yeah.
Jiva Tattva also. Is in between Tattva.
It is not Shiva actually.
No, Shiva only.
No, it is not Shiva. It's Vishnu himself.
He is Vishnu's expansion, but he is not complete Vishnu himself. Sadashiva and Shiva are one and the same. One Sadashiva expands as 11 Rudras.
Okay.
Just like the milk transforms into curd. Curd is neither different nor same as milk. The milk is Mahavishnu. Curd is Sadashiva.
Okay.
That analogy is with respect to Mahavishnu and Sadashiva, not with respect to Kshodaksha Vishnu and Lord Shiva.
I understood, but I remember reading in this thing, Laghu Bhagavatam mein, ki Mahavishnu himself becomes Sadashiv, like that. So I just thought it's the same person.
He is called as Mahakala Purusha.
Yeah, Mahakala Purusha.
The Vishnu is called as Mahavishnu.
Yes.
And Sadashiva is called as Mahakala Purusha.
So Mahakala
and Lord
Purusha
Krishna tells,
yes.
Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Kalosmi Lokakshaya Krut Pravruddho. I am Kala. So in one sense, he is not different from him, but for the purpose of creation, in order to interact with Maya, he expands as Sadashiva. It is Sadashiva who interacts with Prakriti, not Mahavishnu. So like that we should see.
Okay.
So at the time of creation, from Mahavishnu comes Sadashiva, Sadashiva interacts with Pradhana, and that's how the creation happens.
Yes.
At the time of annihilation, both Prakriti and Mahavishnu get into
Not Prakriti and Sadashiva.
Get into Mahavishnu.
Get into Mahavishnu. Yes. So then they stay inside as long as the breathing is inside. Again, when he breathes out, Prakriti comes out first, then Sadashiva also comes out, and by the interaction, 24 elements are born, and then they are carried out. The entire responsibility lies on Sadashiva and Prakriti in one sense. Prakriti is 3 modes, Sadashiva is time. Guna and Kala, they only take care of the rest of the things. Because Mahavishnu is Yoga Nidra. He does only one thing. एक बार breathing करके, no, breathing करने के बाद one एक बार glances and then छोड़ देते. He glances once and then goes into Yoga Nidra. The remaining all will be taken care by these two persons, Prakriti and Sadashiva. That's why they are our father and mother. Immediate father and mother. Brahma is grandfather.
Comes after that.
Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati are father and mother from the point of view of the body. Because the 24 elements are born from them. And Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu is the father from the point of view of the soul. Ham Bija Pradapita. That's how we have to see the distinction. This body is given by Lord Shiva and Prakriti. Atma is given by Vishnu.
Obviously,
Vishnu.
then what is Brahma doing? Brahma is just creating the bodies, different types of bodies,
Ah.
just to accommodate the soul.
Hmm.
The 24 elements sub arrangement is done by Brahma. Right?
Yeah, he has all the ingredients, he combines them and transforms it into a particular body. It is made by Sadashiva and Prakriti gave birth to 24 elements. And Lord Brahma combines them and creates different bodily species.
So in one sense, he is also father.
Grandfather. He is the father of the Prajapatis, and the Prajapatis will continue the further creation. In that way.
Hierarchy में थोड़ा issue है इधर.
No issue.
Shiva is also considered as
Father.
like father, mother, ठीक है.
Hmm.
Shiva and Durga, okay. Now when we say Brahma is a grandfather, that means Shiva became secondary.
Right? So Shiva is Brahma's son.
हाँ, है ना?
Father Shiva is not Shiva. Sadashiva.
हाँ,
Sadashiva and Durga are outside the universe, they are father and mother. Inside the universe, the Shiva is there. He is the son of Brahma. Huh?
that is Rudra.
One of the Rudras. He is also like one of the Prajapatis. He was told to beget children. He begat Rudras. They are going to eat a Brahma only. And Brahma told, Biruko, don't have to beget children. Enough is enough. You have to do it only at the end of the day of Brahma, not now. So you go to do meditation. Lord Shiva is engaged in meditation. But later on, because the Devatas requested, he begot Kartikeya. Otherwise, he does not. So, in that way. Hare Krishna, okay? Sorry, we are only discussing here. Devotees online able to follow?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much.
But though it is explicitly stated about all these things in the shloka, but some hint is given. So basically the hierarchy is like that. Those who do some pious activities below 100 Ashwamedha sacrifices, they go to Swargaloka and enjoy opulence and come back. Those who do 100, they will become Indra. Those who do more than that, they may go to, they may become great sages. But those who do 100 lifetimes of Varnashram Dharma properly, with full dedication, they become Brahma. Those who perform more than that, by practicing Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga along with Bhakti, they will attain Brahman. Those who worship Lord Vishnu with unalloyed devotional service, they go to Vaikuntha. And they serve the Lord, just like I am serving the Lord. Just like those who worship Lord Vishnu go to Vaikuntha, the Devatas also will go to Vaikuntha after completing their tenure, after destroying their subtle bodies. That means destruction of subtle body means without having any desire to continue in their current post. Somebody has become Indra, he served for one another. If he has a desire to continue to do the same seva or same position for one more day or one more year, that's all, they are locked down here only. They should not have any more desire to continue. And then some Mataji was asking the question that if somebody wants to go in between only, why not? Brahma said the same thing. After Brahma only, he said that because I have become Brahma, I made a mistake with you only. I don't want to continue as Brahma. Please take me to spiritual world. If you don't want to take me to spiritual world, just make me a Trunamul in the Vrindavan. Lord Shiva does not even look at him. Because he was thinking that somehow or other I chose you Brahma. There was no one to become Brahma. If you say you don't want to continue as Brahma, how will the maintenance will happen? Who will do the service? He did not even speak to Brahma because of that purpose. He spoke to Indra, even though Indra made a grave mistake. He said, don't do such mistake again. Because even though he made a mistake, it turned out to be
First.
a wonderful event of loving exchanges between all the Vrajavasis. But in the case of Brahma, Brahma is saying that no, I don't want to continue as a Brahma because I am making all these mistakes because I think myself as Brahma. I don't want to have this Upadhi anymore. That's why Krishna did not even look at him. The Devatas have a precondition. They need to complete their duties till the end of their tenure gets over. 1 second. Hey Krishna, I'm in a class. I'm in a class. Okay. So it's like that. That was Brahmavivama Lila and Govardhan Lila, which is going to start very soon. Tomorrow we are in the temple and eventually, but actual date will be on 26th. It's like because getting someone to do that service for long tenure is very difficult. It is not easy. So even somebody to continue as Indra, continue as Brahma, it is not an ordinary post. They cannot get someone who can continue for the long. Even if they get some replacement, the replacement may continue only for a few years, not for the complete tenure. Somehow or other, that person agreed to do that seva for the long time. Even though if they make some mistakes here and there, Lord forgives them and forgets about the mistake. And Lord is so grateful that they have done long service and take them back home back to God. Of course, they are also pure devotees in one sense. That's why I always say many times, the Devatas, after the tenure is over, they will go back home back to Godhead. The reference is here. Of course, Madhvacharya quotes in his commentary on the 5th canto. That was from my 5th canto presentations. But in the Bhagavatam itself, we have a reference here. All the Devatas, unless until they have a desire to continue here, if they are ready to go back to Godhead, they will go back to Godhead immediately after that tenure is over. It is like that. We always try to comment on the Devatas. The Devatas are Karma Mishra Bhaktas. No, Devatas also. The Devatas are Karma Mishra Bhaktas. They are only interested in sense gratification. They will, after the 10 years over, they'll again fall down, they'll come back here. Like that, we always hear in our Bhagavatam Kathas. But that is not the case. The main Devatas who are actually genuinely serving the Lord for a long tenure of time, they will all go back to Godhead after their tenure is over. It's like that.
Yes, you were mentioning right now that it's difficult that somebody would become Brahma and manage the entire,
For a long time, 100 years,
Yeah.
who will maintain?
But in terms of when we speak about the jivas fall down, they say sometimes that jiva becomes Brahma first and it's not all
Not
the
every Jiva,
jivas.
not every Jiva. If one becomes Brahma and everyone is supposed to become Brahma, then no one will come here.
Yeah, exactly.
First time there will be only one Jiva who will be Brahma. And for somebody else to come to material world, he has to wait for 100 years of Brahma. So that is not. They come here to experience Ishvara Bhava. Someone like Brahma, someone like Indra, someone like Chandra, so like that, whichever way they want to. Ishvara Bhava is main thing.
Because it's not really possible also not to make so many Brahma.
Not possible.
So how then somebody says
That is the version of the Bhagavad Kathakar. Their version. So we'll continue. Hare Krishna, any questions from online devotees?
No, Prabhuji, thank you.
Ata Bhagavata Yoyam Priyasta Bhagavan Yata Namad Bhagavata Namcha Preyan Anyosti Karihi 30. Someone read the translation?
Yeah, well,
You-
you are devotees of the Lord, and as such, I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of God Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me, that I am dear to them. Thus, no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am.
Lord Shiva says an important aspect. You devotees are dear to me, just as the Supreme Lord is dear to me. As much as I love the Supreme Lord, I love unalloyed devotees like you. The devotees also hold me dear, just as they hold the Lord dear. This is also one of the important aspects we should also remember. The devotees also hold Lord Shiva as dear as Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. So in that way. Just as the devotees have affection for no one except the Lord, they also have affection for no one except me. Because devotees don't see the distinction between the Lord and his devotees. Saksha Dharitvena Samasta Shastrai. For the devotees, the Guru and the Lord are both are worthy of respect. Of course, when a person becomes devotee, the devotee respects each and every living entity. Then what to speak of respecting Lord Shiva? Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mai Pashyati. One who cannot see the Lord's presence in everything and everywhere, in everyone and everything, then one cannot be a devotee. The devotee's nature is, what was that verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita? Stavara Jangama Deki Na Deki Taramurti Sarvatra Prasara Hoibe Ishta Devaspurti. If a devotee sees the Supreme Lord in the Stavara and Jangama, in a stone and plant, then can't he see the Lord in Lord Shiva? Who is Vaishnava Shambhu? So, a real devotee does not disrespect Lord Shiva and other devatas. They respect all the devatas and Lord Shiva very honorably as the most elevated, important devotees of the Supreme Lord. It is like that. Idam viviktam japtavyam pavitram mangalam param nishreyashakaram chapi shruyatam tadvadamiva.
Now I shall chant one mantra which is not only transcendental, pure, and auspicious, but is the best prayer for anyone who is aspiring to attain the ultimate goal of life. When I chant this mantra, please hear it carefully and attentively.
Please hear Lord Shiva requesting the 10 prachetas. My dear prachetas, please hear. What is that? This distinct, pure, auspicious, supreme, pavitram, mangalam, param. What is that? Mantra to be chanted. Japtavyam. Whatever mantra supposed to be chanted in order to worship the Supreme Lord, which is very distinct, which is very pure, which is very auspicious, which is supreme. There is nothing superior to this, which bestows the highest benefit. Nishreyasa karam chapi. I tell this to you. Tad vadami. Yeah. I want to give you a special mantra, which is distinct, which is pure, which is auspicious, which is supreme, which bestows the highest benefit. Please hear attentively. What was that Lord Krishna tells in the 7th chapter, first verse? Shrunume paramam vacha. Now I am going to speak to you paramam vacha. Listen attentively. So, with this foreword, starting from verse number 33 onwards, Lord Shiva speaks Rudra Gita. Text number 33 to 68 is all called Rudra Gita. 32 is basically Maitreya is telling that he is kind of introducing what he's going to speak and all. So that we will discuss in the next week, 32 onwards. The actual Rudra Gita we will start next week. So we will stop here. Idam viviktam japtavyam pavitram mangalam param nishreyasa karam chapi shruyatam tad vadamiva. This verse talks about the adjectives of the Rudra Gita. What Rudra Gita is all about. So it's like that. So it is 8:30. We'll stop here today. Any questions? No questions. So
No questions.
tomorrow there is no class, and next Saturday is the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. So we'll not be having class. Next Sunday afternoon we'll be having our next class. And the week after that I will be going to GEV. There is no class, but I request the devotees to write the exam for the previous section. I'll send the question paper before that. The last chapter completed, no? That Prudumara section. So you have sufficient amount of time, 2 weeks, you can prepare, and you can give the exam the week after that. And also OBT questions you submit. Question bank already given. Question paper will come from that only. Question paper will be given on that day. Question bank is already sent. Yeah. So we'll stop here.